Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Fabric Espresso. Today we have a Stan with us, and he will speak about granular SQL permissions.
Indeed, really cool feature we're going to talk about today. So I don't know, not last video, maybe a few videos before, we talked about sharing a warehouse. Now, sharing a warehouse, you can share your warehouse and you can give people read permission, write permission, all those things. However, today we're going to talk about something that you want to do in your environment. You want to give only the access to users that they need to have, granting only access to one store procedure, one table, several tables, all those things. And you can achieve that using a combination of sharing your warehouse and also with the SQL granular control that you have using grants or using denies. Now, for today, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to actually share my warehouse with Philip. And I'm going to give him access to just one table. But let me show you that. So I'm in my warehouse view, and what I'm going to do here, I've got this warehouse prepared called Granular Permission. I'm going to click here, Manage Permissions, and I'm going to add a user here. And I'm going to add Filip Popovic. There you go. And now, very important, I'm checking off all the boxes here. New warehouse for you. And checking off all the boxes, I basically remove a load of permissions that you would default get. You don't have to check one of these boxes here. That's something very important to note. You don't have to check one of the boxes, and what you get is the read permission. And the read permission actually translates into a connect permission. You cannot do anything more than connect to that warehouse if you only have the read permission. For example, here you see read data and read all. Read data basically means you get DB data reader. And read write basically means you get the control permission, which translates to the DBO permission. But for Philip over here, we only have the read permission granted here. Now, that's step one. Now let's move to step two. As you can see over here, I granted Philip access to that workspace, that read permission. So he has the connect permissions right now. If I go and run and look at the database principles, you can see there's no Philip in here yet. Now, what happens if I grant select? So I've got a first table and a second table. I'm going to grant select on that first table to Philip. There we go. If I go and check those database principles again, it now has implicitly already created that user for me, as you can see over here. So we've got Filip Popovic now in that database. And what Philip now can do, so let's switch to Philip, is connect to that warehouse and just select from that one table.
So I used SSMS to connect to the endpoint with a connection string, and we can see in the Object Explorer that I see only the table that Stan provided me access to. So let's start the query. And as you can see, I can access the table that Stan provided me access to. Awesome. So Stan, you provided me access to a single table quite easily, actually. You provided me first the access to the warehouse. You eliminated all the checkboxes there, so you granted me just the connect permissions. And then you used SQL to provide granular access to specific objects to me. So this is really great.
Indeed, it basically gives you now the option to have granular access control to your SQL. Basically, there's two levels. So the first level is in the workspace where you just grant connect, and then you grant select specific selects that you're going to give on tables, store procedures, functions. However you want to design that SQL security model, you're free to do that. Very important to note that you saw that that user implicitly gets created. So the create user does not exist in Fabric. It basically implicitly creates that user for you the first time you do a grant, or you add a role or add somebody to as a member to a role, it automatically creates that user for you. Now, um, that was it.
So it's even easier than before.
It's even easier than before. Now, if this was the first time you're visiting our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or any comments, just write them in the comments. We'll definitely get back to you. And if you like the video, just give us a big thumbs up. As always, from the Fabric Espresso team, this is Stan, and
Philip?
thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.